Hi there, this is Brad with That Damn Nerd, and today we're going to look at hardware scanning. We're going to look at its benefits, its drawbacks, and a couple of different examples of hardware scanners. It's going to be a great episode. Stick around. So if you watched our previous video, the previous video discussed software-defined radio. So today we're going to be discussing hardware-defined radio, or HDR. And basically that is in the form of a walkie-talkie or whatever you may have. Anything that you can receive or transmit is technically an HDR. Now, you may have never heard that term, and it's generally not used in the industry, which is fine. But that's basically what it is. So today we're going to talk about a few. Now you've already seen one of them. This is the Baofeng UV5R. It is a handheld portable radio. They actually don't make this model anymore. This has been out of production since 2017. However, this is a great example of a radio. This is a transceiver, so you can receive and you can broadcast. Now, it's a popular handheld dual band two-way radio designed for amateurs and for radio enthusiasts, emergency responders, outdoor enthusiasts, and it's known for its affordability and its versatility. So it's a huge plus for hobbyists and for preppers. Now let's look at a couple of the benefits of this radio. So it's got dual band operation, which means it operates on both VHF and UHF. So VHF is 136 to 174 megahertz, and UHF is 400 to 520 megahertz. So it allows a wide range of channels for people to communicate on. The power output on this is a maximum of 5 watts. Now, this is the only transceiver we're going to talk about today. There are other ones out there. This is the only one we're going to talk about because this is the only one I have available to me. This Baofeng does allow up to 128 pre-programmed channels or programmed channels that you can put in here using a PC cable, and it allows you to switch back and forth between them. You can do what's called dual watch, dual receive. So dual watch means you can watch up to 2 frequencies at a time, and you can receive only one of them at a time, but it'll switch back and forth between the 2 of them. This also does voice operated exchange, or VOX, emergency alerts. It's got a built-in flashlight on the top here, and it has a rechargeable lithium ion battery. Now, as I had stated, you can program these from the PC, and that has a built-in FM radio receiver. This is one of the reasons why they're great for preppers. So let's talk about the bad with this radio. Well, they're not the greatest quality. As you can see, this kind of wiggles a little bit. It's not the greatest quality. They are known for the lithium ion battery having a problem, which is actually one of the reasons why they were discontinued. So I don't recommend anyone get the UV5R. There is a new version called the UV6R. It's moderately better. It definitely does work better than the 5R, but that is an example of one of them. The next radio we're going to talk about today is the Whistler WS1040, and it is by Whistler. So this is a digital handheld receiver. It's much different than the Baofeng that we were just talking about. This is an analog only, and this is a digital radio that can receive both digital and analog. This is capable of receiving multiple different types of radio systems, allowing you as the user to listen to a wide range of different types of radio systems, everything from Motorola Type 1 and 2 and 3 to EDAX, LTR, and even P25 Phase 1 and Phase 2. Now, this also has a wide frequency range, programmable channels. It's got DMA, which is dynamic memory allocation. It's got different scan modes, vScanner technology, which is Whistler's proprietary scan in memory function. It has object-oriented user interface, which means you have a clear display. It tells you everything on this display that you need to know, including the channels, what you're listening to, talk group, All of that can be programmed in here as well. It has built-in Skywarn, so if you are a weather watcher or you listen to NOAA, you have same codes programmed, and you want weather alerts, you live in Tornado Alley, this radio will go off and let you know when one of those has been issued. It also has built-in automatic gain control, so all of your transmissions are the exact same volume. And it can be programmed from a computer using a standard 3.5 millimeter to USB Whistler programming cable. It also comes with the option to use rechargeable batteries, or you can use alkaline batteries in here as well. Now keep in mind that this radio is not a two-way radio. It is important to ensure that you are operating the scanner within the legal right of your local zones, regulations, and everything. Make sure that you are allowed to monitor the system that you have programmed in here. Some jurisdictions don't let you do that. Now, this scanner has some drawbacks. This scanner cannot scan if you have a simulcast system. This will not work. So what's a P25 simulcast system? Well, simulcast system is you have multiple towers across a designated service area, and each one is synced and transmits and broadcasts at the exact same moment uniformly across it. So you have, here's a perfect example. In New York, where I live, the town that I live in has a local 911 tower for P25 simulcast for the simulcast system in my area. The next closest tower on the same frequency is in the next closest major city, which is downtown Syracuse, New York. Now, those two towers, while they're far enough away, you're going to receive that signal at the same time, roughly the same time, and it's going to throw this radio off. Now, what can you do to fix that? So this is the Uniden Bearcat SDS 100. So this is a high-end handheld digital mobile scanner that's designed for advanced monitoring of radio frequencies for public safety, amateur radio, and all kinds of other different stuff. Now, this is an advanced digital scanner. It's capable of receiving both analog and digital signals, APCO P25 Phase 1 and Phase 2, all Motorola systems, EDAX, LTR, DMR, and NXDN. Now, this is a true IQ receiver, which means it has a built-in SDR that actually samples the radio system and provides the sensitivity and selectivity that it needs to make sure that it has reliable reception. It has multi-system support, which means it supports a wide range of digital trunking systems, allowing you to monitor as many agencies as you can physically program in here or that are available in your area. It has the same wide range coverage that the Whistler scanner had, and it also has a built-in GPS functionality that allows you to do location-based scanning. One of the cool things, I will tell a side story here. Recently, over the summer, I went to Niagara Falls with my family, and I brought my SDS 100 with me with all of the trunked channels, trunk systems programmed in there with location services enabled, just to see if it actually did switch over. And it did. To my surprise, every time I made a step out of a county or out of a radio system's range, it would switch to the next one as soon as it noticed that it had come online and within range. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it was the first major trip that I've actually taken with this scanner. You can do as many programmable channels as you want to try to fit in here. It all depends on the size of the card that you've thrown in here. I have a 128 gigabyte card in here. Some say that you can only do 32. I've found that the 128 works fine as long as it is a SanDisk or a SanDisk XD Pro or XDC Pro. But your mileage may vary. It's got a large color display. It also uses object-oriented user interfaces. So everything is very, very clear, and it simplifies the operation because you could just dial in, hit buttons, and it tells you everything you need to know right here. It also uses quick key system access, which means you can assign specific systems, channels, or frequencies to buttons on the keypad and just hit a button and you're there. This also supports what's called Phase 2 TDMA access. So what that is it allows you to decode digital transmissions from agencies using the advanced protocol. We're not going to go into what TDMA is. You're more than welcome to look it up, but it is a great feature to have on this radio. It also has an SD card slot right underneath the battery in the back here, where you can record and play back audio transmissions that you've heard, depending on the size of your radio. It comes with an 8 gig card. If you throw a 32 in here, you should get about 10 transmissions or so. With the 128 that I have in here, on average, I get anywhere between 18 and 25 transmissions that I can go back through. And of course, it has a rechargeable battery pack in here and water resistant design. Now, this is a professional grade scanner. It's designed for people who are serious about scanning. It's designed for public safety professionals, amateur radios, and others who require the advanced capabilities that this radio offers. It's essential to make sure that you check your local laws. Some jurisdictions do not allow you to have this type of radio in your vehicle when you're driving. So make sure that you check with your local law enforcement and before you put it in your car. Let's talk about price. So which one is the cheapest? Well, obviously that would be the Baofeng. This comes in at somewhere around $30 if you can find it used. The Baofeng 6R is generally around $27 to $37 depending on where you find it. I'm not going to post any links to this because realistically, this is not a radio I would recommend to anyone unless you literally need a radio to record something off of. Not a great radio. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. The Whistler WS1040 is this one here. I would recommend this if you're not in an area with a simulcast system. So a simulcast we already talked about earlier, but if you have a simulcast system, you're not going to be able to monitor it the way you want to. So this isn't going to work out. This one generally will be around $260, $280, depending on the seller that you buy it from. And there may be a programming fee if you are not familiar with how to program the scanner yourself. And finally, the elephant in the room, the professional one. How much is this scanner? This scanner retails for around $699 USD. So it's definitely expensive, and it's out of most people's price range, which is perfectly acceptable. If you're not able to afford that, there are a million other solutions out there. And one of the things that we talked about in the video yesterday was building a hardware scanner using SDRs. And I don't know if I showed this in the video, I believe I did, but I actually built one here that actually outperforms this radio, and we'll do a video in the future where you guys can kind of see apples to apples what these things can do. This one you can record and play back up to 100 channels. You can stream out of here, you can listen to it, you can listen to multiple channels at once. It really outperforms this, and I'll go into a video on how to make your own one of these. I went and picked up this computer on eBay and built this little system. I think the whole project cost me maybe $100 to build this whole thing. It was insanely cheap and insanely easy to get it up and running. And I have it completely automated. It runs on Linux, but we'll go into that in a future video. Well, that's going to do it for our video today. Make sure that you comment down below your suggestions on other radios that people might be interested in. And let me know what you think about what I've said about some of these radios, and what you think about the Uniden SDS100. I will post some links to all the radios that I discussed down below, as well as, if I finished it already, I'll put a card up here somewhere where you guys can see how I actually made this, and you can see it in action. Until next time, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video so other people can learn as well. Have a great rest of your day.